Hi, I'm Frank Di Sarra, Principal Architect of FrankFranco Architects. We've been designing modern homes in Toronto for the past 20 years. When I look at my buildings and the architecture that I've created, I always look at them as like children. Like I've seen them come from very conceptual sketches and then develop and then eventually get built. And then I'm kind of not involved anymore. But they're always my home. They belong to a client, they own it, they live in it, and I want them to be happy because it's their home. But every building gets sold, every building changes ownership eventually. And even though it changes ownership, I can still knock on that door and say I designed it. They're always my home. I do believe we have developed a signature or a style, an identifiable architectonic element. And that is, we tend to have focus on very few elements material-wise on the exterior of our homes or our buildings. And in terms of the modern ideals, we really try to stay true to the simplicity of the buildings. But the identity of our buildings are really defined by the hiding of the front entrance. We try to not make the front entrance so apparent, and we try to really make it more recluse. And the privacy elements of the front of the homes, our homes tend to be more fortified on the front. And it's to just, that's the public side of the building. And we tend to just want to not push away, but fortify our position within the public space. So when you approach one of our homes, there's a bit of control in terms of you must go this way to enter the home, or you must do something to, pass a certain threshold to get in. And then once you get into the home, there's a clear, identifiable narrative in terms of how we want you to experience the home. We want you to engage the stairs and move up the stairs to the main floor, and then the main floor opens up to you. It's a way of controlling how and what you see and what you experience. And in a modern home, I think what makes our homes different is we are able to do this in a more modern setting. How a building, how a home and modern homes interact with the exterior or the outdoors is unique. You study the site and you understand the placement of the home. We take into design certain exterior elements like a courtyard. How do we shape this courtyard into the design? Does it make sense to have this courtyard? We have a signature oculus that we tend to incorporate into our designs. This is a vertical element to integrate how the spaces integrate vertically on the exterior and connect the sky to the landscape. Not that no one does it, but it's undervalued to have these interactions between the architecture, how it's crafted, and how it addresses exterior elements. And it's part of the DNA of modern contemporary homes. There is a common misconception that modern homes are cold or without personality. The flat roof, the cladding systems is very simple, it's minimalistic, it doesn't express a lot. But clients need to understand that a modern home is a canvas. It's a canvas for them to inhabit. It's a canvas for them to fill with their life. It's not canvas of dictation. So as an architect, my job is to say, hey, again, let's keep this quiet. Let's keep this simple. Let's address your life and the needs, and the wants are what you put in it. How you arrange your furniture and how you interact within that space. And again, as an architect, it's exploring that way of living. How do you live? And let's make the space function for your life. Well, in my education, I was fortunate enough to study abroad, and one of our destinations was Rome. When you're looking at Rome, Rome's a city that has been reinvented several times. And in that reinvention comes a repurposing of materials, buildings, how they're used, how they're incorporated into the fabric of the city. And when you study those components, they lend themselves to this ability to look at things through a different lens. So when you are given the opportunity to peel back the veil of time and see how they did things, you can, with open eyes, really study what they did and then apply it to the way you intend on doing things in the future. And the way I do it is I look at the way we apply materials, the way we shape buildings, the use of structure as expression, and those are all modern ideas. One of the early inspirations for Clubhouse was the Barcelona Pavilion. And it has, if anybody's familiar with it, it has expansive glass, it has a very light structure, and it has these beautiful thin walls. So that's where we took a lot of inspiration from. It has integration with art and sculpture. It uses different stones as solid materials. It has a discipline about it. The reflecting pond is beautiful. So all these elements were kind of elements that we wanted to incorporate in this design. So a lot of inspiration was taken from that particular home. And it's interesting because it's a house that started off with maximizing or trying to understand how to apply the least amount of energy into the lot. How do we situate this home nestled on this hill? It's a reverse sloping towards the road. How do we address this lot in a manner that we don't have to bring the car up too high, that we can enter the building and have a beautiful view at the back? Now the back is higher than the front. So the design became intertwined with addressing the lot. It was the more specific, it was a hierarchy of decision. We had to kind of look at this and say, okay, I can't have a really steep driveway, so I must put the garage on a lower level. There were a lot of design challenges along the way, and they all related to the simplicity of the design, the expression of form, and the resolution of connection between materials. And these sound more technical, but a simple way of describing this is to how do we put stone on this house and stone at the top and the bottom of the window without cutting any stone, without showing any cuts. So it's a kind of self-imposed problem that we, put on ourselves, but it was an exercise in showing the pure form of the building. And it was a calculation. Every row has its place. There's a custom rows that are hidden in between the whole cladding that are not apparent. And there's no cuts at the window. So it's a puzzle. And when you see it, not everybody understands it, but it adds to the contemporariness of that architecture. It fortifies and strengthens the idea of form. Modern, contemporary homes, architecture need buy-in from the people building it. It's surprisingly, they will push it further. Say, hey, I know you want to not have any cuts here. Let's do this. It's fantastic. It's a great relationship. So you have to be able to transcend that to the site. The most humbling award for me was the Architizer's People's Choice Award for Best Small Firm. And the reason why I felt really honored by that was that these were people They could be average people, they could be architectural background people, they could be homeowners. They voted. They voted for my design. And that left me feeling like, well, it's appreciated out in the marketplace. It's appreciated out in the world, the real world. When you do that, when you start paying attention to the clients and you really understand what it is, how they live, and there are nuances to the way we all live. They have a younger family. They play sports. They have a exercise routine, or they like to cook. And you start to prioritize the volumes, the room sizes to suit that life. So a young family that has an active lifestyle, mudrooms become important, laundry rooms become important, their connection becomes important. Those are functional elements that have to be calibrated and connected. They're not the form of the building. It's not how the building looks, feels, and how it interacts with the landscape. But then you start to shape those basic elements, because these must happen first. And then you start to shape the building around those activities. We do a lot of form studies, and we do the form studies in model form too. So the clients understand so much about drawings. They can only see so much. They can only see so much with renderings. They can only see so much with 3D models. But when you take a physical model and you show it to them, let's see how they immediately understand it. Like, it's immediate. Well, modern is the absence of excess. So when you subtract excess, that's just subtracting, then focus on the form, the shape, and how the space works. Why are we doing all this extra stuff to make it feel special? It already is. Allow the things of your life to fill the room, the art you put in it, the collections you have, the landscapes, the exterior. Engage with the world in different ways. There are other more specific things you have to consider when engaging or incorporating exterior elements. There may be a specific view that's related to the site that you want to capitalize on. So those takes precedent over the design in terms of, I want to be able to look over the 18th hole, or I want to be able to see the skyline. And those are, then that's the principal view that you need to preserve. There are elements in terms of the land is sloping, the topography sloping, and we need to preserve certain elements that are near, near things we can't change, the creeks. But those are physical elements. The design has to respond to those things and has to address those elements. Has to address those views and address specifically the things that make special that lot. It's common that clients come in with a list of needs and a list of wants. And it's very common for them to come and show me pictures of, look, I like this. And I always have to slow walk them and say, talk to me about your house. Talk to me about the way you live. And give me a shot at a design. Show me 3 things, not 40 things, of things you like. I can take cues from those images. Then once we have that knowledge, I take it and I try to provide them something that they haven't seen before. All of our homes, all of our designs are one-offs. And we really try to fill in the gaps that are not so apparent to the client between their needs and wants, but we fill in those spaces and try to provide them a whole package with the design. Our first concepts, our first designs is to really shake the tree. Let's shake the tree hard and see what comes out of it. And usually we put forward 3-4 concepts, put forward some models and some shapes, and then, in educating them and starting for them to see what we're doing in the shapes we're creating and the forms and the interaction of the rooms, do they start to understand the language of modern? So they come to us with an idea, what they think they like, We discuss it. We tell them, say, you've seen this several times. It's not something new. Let's try and do something that's innovative. I don't come into a situation pretending to know my clients, everything about them, but I pay attention to them. I try to understand what it is that they want. And then I bring my expertise and I say, hey, knowing what I know about you and knowing what I know about design, this is how we can accommodate your needs and wants. And this will be a really interesting idea to be able to explore. So, I've been fortunate that I have very, very good clients. I have a track record of very good clients, and they listen to me, or when at least hear me, and then they decide. So I think it's very important to have a client's attention to be able to, let's discuss this idea, they make the decision, and then we advance the ball in design. You have to first have a client that trusts you and gives you that authority to actually do those types of things. And that's the first award, being able to see this building be constructed.